strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. Whatever somebody said today, they said, oh, well, the president wants to do it really quickly. After that, he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing boring about this. Do you agree with that, Pete? I don't think there's anything, Mr. General. I think there's nothing boring about it. Somebody actually said from the media, I think he'll get bored after about a week or two. No, we don't get bored. I never get bored. If I got bored, I wouldn't be standing here right now, I guarantee you that, to go through what I had to go through. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot. But please join me in thanking every American service member who bravely is standing in harm's way. They really are incredible, and I just want to thank you. We have a lot of them right here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a lot of great service members here with us, too, in this beautiful building. Isn't it beautiful? We're adding on to the building a little bit. We're improving the building. See that nice drape? When that comes down, right now you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors, because it can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains. But, and it'll be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it's because I built many a ballroom. I believe it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And when you hear all that hammering out there, you know why the First Lady is not thrilled exactly. She said, will the pile drivers ever stop? You know, they go from 6 in the morning till 11:30 in the evening. Can you imagine? Here? You know what? To me, that's a beautiful sound. She doesn't like it. I love it. You know what? To me, other than here, because we're donating it, not a penny to the taxpayer. It'll be under budget, ahead of schedule. It'll be $400 million or less. Most people say $400 million or more. No, it'll be less. But when I hear that sound, that beautiful sound behind me, it means money, so I like it. But my wife isn't thrilled. She said, this is getting crazy. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be all finished up in a few months. But now, for the reason that we're gathered this morning, to recognize the unsurpassed courage of 3 really incredible American heroes, 1 living and 2 no longer with us. So together, we recognize the exceptional valor of Master Sergeant Roderick Edmonds. And maybe I could ask your families to stand, because they're beautiful families. I got to meet them, and please. So Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis and Command Sergeant Major Terry Richardson, as they receive our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And we're pleased to be joined by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. He's busy, very busy guy. In fact, I said, if you want, Pete, you can avoid it. General Raisin Kane also. And they said, we don't avoid this one. This is one you wouldn't avoid for anything, right? So we appreciate that you're here. Secretary of Veterans Affairs, who's doing an incredible job, Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. Doug, thank you. You stand up, Doug. You're doing such a good job. 92% approval rating. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, who's known as Raisin Kane. I liked him when I heard that name, Raisin Kane. I said, if it's true, you're my guy. And it's true. It just turned out it's very true. He's a great guy and a great general. Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, and Army Chief of Staff, Randy George. Thank you. Thank you both, Dan. As well as Senators Tom Cotton and Bill Hagerty. You guys were great on television this weekend. I'll tell you what, can't have a better representative than both of you. Thank you very much. And Representatives Tim Burchett, Jack Bergman, and Nicole Maliotakis, and we have a few others sitting here, but I'm not going to go through it because we have far more important people to honor today. Oh, we have Tom Homan. I got to at least mention Tom Homan. I would be a stand-up, Tom. What a job. Zero people coming in. We had millions and millions of people pouring into our country now. I'm not even sure I can believe this number is zero, but it is given out by Democrats. They're Democrats from the left, and they're rated for the last 9 months. We had 0 people come illegally through our border. Right, Tom? So I want to thank you very much. And I also want to salute 6 former Medal of Honor recipients: William Swenson, Jim McLuhan, Walter Marm, Thomas
At
Paine.
10 o'clock, we are continuing our coverage of President Trump as he speaks from the White House with this ceremony.
You've heard that all your life.
And we'll join you with Fox 10 Talks in a few moments.
You all look good. We all look good. We remember the ceremonies. All great. And it's a great honor. There's no greater. I tried for myself. I've tried numerous times to get one by myself. I keep getting shut down. They say, you can't do it, sir. Bad protocol. Very bad. I would say the worst. But I'm only kidding. You don't have to say I'm only kidding, otherwise the press will come out with it, which they actually did once. Donald Trump wants the Congressional Medal of Honor, but he's been shut down. But now you are brave, amazing people, and I want to thank you all. In 1941, Roddy Edmonds of Knoxville, Tennessee, enlisted in the U.S. Army and soon rose to one of the youngest master sergeants in the military. In 1944, he sailed to Europe to fight in World War II, and he was so enthusiastic and young and full of vim and vigor. Roddy soon found himself on the front lines of the Battle of the Bulge. That was a big one. Massively outnumbered by enemy forces, his 1,200 soldier unit fought valiantly until they were completely overrun. The force was massive on the other side, many times number. After a 4-day death march, one that was covered very well by the history books, through bitter cold, they were put into a German POW camp. Roddy was the top-ranking infantryman in the camp. He was number 1, meaning he was responsible for the lives of his fellow service members. On July 26, 1945, a Nazi SS officer issued an order over the camp loudspeaker, loud and strong. He said that only American Jews were to show up to roll call following this morning. He added, all who disobey this order will be shot immediately. There were more than 200 Jewish American soldiers in the camp, and Roddy knew their separation from the group would mean certain death. So that night he summoned his team and devised a plan. The next morning, all 1,200 American men fell in line together, shoulder to shoulder. Enraged, the Nazi commandant rushed forward, drew his Luger pistol, and pressed the barrel between Sergeant Edmonds' eyes. He barked at Roddy. They cannot all be Jews, he screamed loud and again, and staring straight back into the raging face of evil. Sergeant Edmonds replied fearlessly, we are all Jews here. The Nazi officer lowered his weapon and the soldiers erupted in cheers. With total disregard for his own life, Roddy had saved over 200 of his fellow service members. Their camp was liberated 2 months later. We're honored to be joined today by Roddy's son, Chris. Please stand up as
Well, we have been watching President Trump as the ceremony is underway there at the White House. And at the beginning of his remarks, he spoke for a few minutes about the reasoning behind why it was so necessary to move forward with military action. Both the United States and Israel, as you no doubt have heard by now, taking action Saturday morning, killing the supreme leader of Iran, and at the same time, several dozen other top leaders of the regime that has been in power for more than 50 years. This is Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ron Hoon, and every morning now at 10 a.m., you can just keep it on Fox 10 because it's a chance for you to basically react to the day's top news stories, the most interesting stories of the day. You can watch us on Fox 10 TV and go to YouTube and join the conversation. But what we want to do right now is bring in Rebecca Grant. She's with the Lexington Institute. She's an expert on foreign affairs. We have spoken with her in the past. And Rebecca, let's talk just a little bit about everything that has unfolded in the last 48 hours. Was the timing of this a surprise? I mean, it certainly seemed like there were a lot of warnings being issued in those last few days.
Yes, there were, and a lot of people had been tracking the deployment of forces across into the theater. But I've got to say, I've got to hand it to General Kane and to Central Command. The actual timing of this was an operational surprise. Fantastic work, and of course, none more surprised than the Iranians themselves. That piece of intelligence that allowed the airstrikes and missiles to catch Ayatollah Khamenei in the meeting and to take out that terrible, terrible dictator, an incredible surprise. Begun, as we've learned from General Dan Kane, by a cyber and space wiping out of Iranian military communications in those moments before the strikes. So an incredibly well orchestrated mission that did catch the enemy by surprise.
So what does the future hold? This, of course, is the big question. The regime itself has been in power for almost 50 years, and it's going to try to cling to power despite the fact that in many quarters, both inside Iran and in the diaspora around the world, people who have fled Iran, they want to see major change and potentially even a democracy. As we saw those protests that were unfolding back in January, where do you see it going?
That's right. We're looking for a new day for Iran. But to be clear, the immediate objective and what's most important for American security is to continue this campaign. The Central Command has told us that the targets here are, of course, the ballistic missile sites, Iran's Navy, and then really specific target list in the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. That's a group of about 190,000, but within that is the elite Quds force. That's more like about 10,000, and they're the ones who send the terror money abroad, build the ballistic missiles, keep the money flowing, and have been the instruments of oppression for the Ayatollah for so long. So General Dan Kane was very clear. There are going to be strikes, there are going to be restrikes, bomb damage assessment, and at the same time, in a way we haven't seen in decades, our forces are playing defense with counter-missile operations, counter-drones. That means fighter jets in the air 24/7 and missile defenders on alert, whether they're on a Navy destroyer or they're at our U.S. bases with Patriot and THAAD. So we are going to see more of epic fury over the next couple of days.
How debilitated already was the Iranian military from the previous war last summer and the takedown of their nuclear sites, just in terms of their ability to respond much longer?
So, a great question. And I think emerging from the Pentagon briefing this morning, we see that Iran's integrated air defense had suffered a lot of damage. The key nuclear manufacturing apparatus was knocked out last summer, but Iran was trying to rebuild and trying to build up enough of a missile arsenal and a web that they could basically lock out any future strikes by the U.S. So this is part of the reason that President Trump decided to strike now. And this is going to take time. They have decided to settle for nothing less than basically a complete obliteration of Iran's military capacity. That means running down a lot of targets, looking for emerging or dynamic targets, as they say. That's when something starts shooting back at you. Some of the missile launchers, other things like that, they're going to take the time they need to go after this, because while the airspace was open to our incredible stealth and precision aircraft, there was still just a huge conventional military apparatus that Iran wanted to build up so they could make nuclear weapons with impunity. And we've just got to remove all of that as job one.
You know, Rebecca, we have seen protests on both sides of the issue. It actually has been surprising to see the type of reaction from that part of the world in the Middle East and areas of India as well. How does the fact that there are even people within their own country that are happy to see this happen, and of course there are those that followed, of course, the leader that was killed, but how does this reaction affect what happens next?
Well, it does make it more complicated. That regime had been in power for 47 years. That's an incredibly long period of time, and it just raises a real question mark as to what's next for Iran. But remember, 32,000 of their own people killed by the IRGC and other Iranian units over the last several weeks. So I think people in Iran have had a lot of time to focus on what they want to see next. But the key objective, again, as Central Command has laid out, is getting rid of a lot of that IRGC leadership. This is why you see President Trump calling for other IRGC rank and file to lay down their arms. So it's going to take some time, and that's why really the metric of success for us is eliminating that military capability, so that whatever government comes next in Iran, they aren't going to have the ability to strike out. A good government coming forth in Iran would get immediate sanctions relief, and that would be an incredible incentive and a step forward for them.
You know, I think we've been waiting to see some sort of peace in the Middle East for many, many years. Do you think this is a step in that direction?
I do, but you know what we're seeing is that you've really just got to carve out and eliminate this Iranian capability. You know, we always heard it was the biggest worldwide spreader of terror, the missiles and all that. That's got to just basically be surgically extracted and done away with. Then you have the chance for peace. The fact that Iran has attacked several of the Gulf states and they are now helping to shoot back and defend, that's going to increase their bonds and give, I think, in the end, a lot of momentum for the Abraham Accords peace process.
You know, I read an analysis in the New York Times over the weekend that said the end result, the sort of epic nature of what has happened now to that regime and all of the problems they have caused in the Middle East, that this could be on par with the fall of the Soviet Union. We have only one. Well, actually, can you stick with us through the break, Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay. We have a couple of minutes to talk about that. Would you put it to that level, or is that overstating it?
No, I think that's a great comparison, because we thought the Soviet Union would never fall, despite the solidarity movement in Poland and all the unrest in the 1980s. And then, you know, I remember this while I was a college student, and bang, there it was. Down went the Berlin Wall, and suddenly everything began to change. But the other comparison there is that the Berlin Wall fell in the fall of 1989. It was not until early 1991 that the Soviet Union itself was no more. I don't think it'll take that long with Iran, but it shows you that when the conditions are right and the people want change, that a seemingly unthinkable change can actually happen very quickly.
Okay, so yeah, if you are able to stay through the break, that will be excellent. I want to know, and I know, Syleste, you've got more questions as well. Was it a huge mistake on the part of the Iranians to start firing missiles at all these other countries?
Yeah.
Rebecca Grant continues next. And we welcome you back to more of Fox 10 Talks. And by the way, this is our first chance to join you on Fox 10.
It is.
So from here on out,
morning.
you can watch the news all morning long and then join, like we like to say, Syleste, the friendliest chat online.
Absolutely. You go to YouTube, join the conversation, pop into the chat box, say hello to maybe the people that have been there for the last 2 years, Ron.
Yes.
We've been doing this for 2 years on YouTube. And then join the conversation, ask us questions. And then, of course, when we have other guests, you can ask them questions as well.
Exactly. All right, let's get back to Rebecca here. Just one last question, Rebecca. Was it a huge miscalculation on the part of whatever was left of the Iranian power structure to start firing missiles and drones at other nations around the Middle East?
A huge mistake. They targeted, the airport in the UAE. They targeted hotels, civilian areas. Now, those Gulf countries despise the Iranian regime to start with, but this just really justifies. And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs told us, that meant that they brought their air defenses in. I'm telling you, those Gulf states don't like to talk about it, but they've got some great air forces, and I know they're up doing drone defense. And finally, Britain's Keir Starmer, who said, I'm not sure we're going to participate, though there might have been a little operational deception there. But what we see now is Britain clearing Diego Garcia, probably for our B-2 bombers. A British jet has shot down an Iranian drone based out of the British jet out of Qatar. And of course, Akrotiri in Cyprus, which is a British base, has been attacked. So now Britain and our wonderful partners, the RAF, are all in as well. Huge mistake by Iran.
All right. That's Rebecca Grant. She's with the Lexington Institute. Every time we have her on, Syleste, we learn a lot. Rebecca, thank you. Hope we can call on you again.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Okay.
Thank you.
So our poll question today, by the way, we have been, Syleste, over the last few hours, just kind of rolling on the news conferences that have been underway, et cetera.
Yes.
And Pete Hegseth did speak earlier this morning. Here's just a clip of what he had to say when he was speaking from the Pentagon just a little earlier.
It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons. It's common sense. Many have said it, but it takes guts to actually enforce it, and our president has guts. Iran's stubborn and self-evident nuclear pursuits, their targeting of global shipping lanes, and their swelling arsenal of ballistic missiles and killer drones are no longer tolerable risks. Iran was building powerful missiles and drones to create a conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Let me say that again. A conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Our bases, our people, our allies, all in their crosshairs. Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb.
All right, so there you hear a little bit of what Pete Hegseth had to say. And by the way, a little bit later this morning, we are going to be talking live with a Valley man whose wife is stuck right now, Syleste, in Dubai.
Wow.
Which they have said, they just announced they're going to try to get some flights out of Dubai starting tonight. But obviously, what with drones and missiles flying kind of through that airspace in the Gulf, there were plenty of concerns, that's for sure. Do you hear a little bit of an echo, Celeste?
I do. It's
Echo?
I think we're in a bit, maybe because it's Ron, maybe we're in a big auditorium.
Yeah. No,
we're at the Orpheum Theater, actually.
I don't think it's that for sure. All right, so here's our poll question. Do you support this action? 69% of you are saying, yeah, it's about time we had a president who will take strong action against that regime in Iran. 4% saying I do, but I'm worried about a long war. And 27% are saying no foreign wars, especially if you don't go to Congress first.
And our numbers on YouTube are a little bit different, obviously. And this morning, that's pretty consistent. So 1.8 thousand votes on this one. And this is just in the last hour. So nearly 2,000 votes already on this poll question on YouTube. By the way, if you're new to the chat, just go to the very top of the chat. There's a link there for the poll question on YouTube. And you can actually leave a comment. We got a ton of comments on this one, and Big D we'll chat with him in a second. But yes, it's about time we take strong action against Iran, 36%. No foreign wars, especially if you don't go to Congress. That one winning, though, Ron, with 56%.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Let's go to Dave. He's looking at your comments. Here he is, Big D, as we call him. What do you see, friend?
Yes, I answer to either. We have lots of comments. As Syleste said, you can always comment on fox10phoenix.com/poll, as well as on YouTube. Sabrina Peel in Globe says, I stand with our president. He is taking action that needs to happen to protect our country. God bless our military. Stay strong. Efren Starks in Tonopah says, Iran would use a nuclear weapon and has been spreading terrorism worldwide. The president does not require permission from Congress. MAGA Hive Mind says, I recall no new wars and no more foreign regime changes being a campaign promise, but then again, it's MAGA and hypocrisy is their game. And finally, LJ Flower Power says American service members are dying for no reason. Why are we attacking Iran? They didn't attack us. Really good comments, really interesting on both sides. Keep them coming, everybody.
All right, Dave, thanks. One more thing. By the way, we've got the mayor coming up here in about 30 seconds, but we want to let you know that starting today, you have a chance to win the Fox 10 Talks t-shirt as we celebrate our debut on Fox 10 TV. So here's what you do. You go to fox10phoenix.com/contest.
Yes.
Enter. And I think, Syleste, you can enter every weekday now. From 10 in the morning till 10:30.
Right. So you have about 8 minutes to, log in and sign up for this. We'll pick potential winners during the show.
Okay.
And then apparently we're giving you a call.
Yep.
So you're going to have to put your digits in there.
Answer your phone.
Don't try to screen us.
Yeah, we're gonna email you some legal docs to make sure you're eligible. Got to be an Arizona resident, 18 years of age or older. PO box not accepted.
Ron, are we asking for social security numbers? What is happening?
Definitely not doing that. Syleste, what do those shirts look like, by the way?
Right here. Here they are, by the way. Here's the back side.
Okay.
And then here's the front.
Yeah.
And what did we say? They're
semi-limited.
They're semi-limited edition.
It means there are hundreds of them. I don't really know. All right. So, hey, this is a real opportunity for us. First time to welcome to the microphone Lisa Borowsky, the mayor of Scottsdale. Miss Mayor, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Okay. And you brought with you a guest, I guess you could say, from the, this is Peter Michael with the Scottsdale Police Department. This is a major announcement you guys want to share with our audience today.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Here with me today is Lieutenant Peter Michael, and he is with the department's heat unit. And I'd like to start by commending the Scottsdale Police Department's heat unit for their major accomplishment recently, where 173 arrests were made. It was a targeted...
Explain what heat is, if you don't mind.
Human exploitation
and trafficking.
And trafficking. Okay,
I
good.
was trafficking it. And so what they did, and I'll let the lieutenant talk more about the details of the investigation and how that went down. But the results speak for themselves. We're a top-tier tourism destination for the entire world. We welcome tourists with open arms. Traffickers will not be tolerated. So as part of my platform, a cornerstone of my platform was public safety in Scottsdale, and we will not let anything stand in the way of that.
All right, Lieutenant, can you share what was this program about and the operation?
Yeah, so this was a 12-day proactive operation. A lot of it surrounding undercover operations, utilizing detectives that are, mimicking the persona of a 13 or 14-year-old. Over the course of 12 days, as the mayor said, we had 173 arrests. 40 of those were felony arrests.
Wow.
133 of those being misdemeanor arrests.
How wide-ranging of an effort is this? I mean, when you're talking about 170 plus arrests, look, we're putting the info on the screen. The arrests were made between middle of January and middle of February. If you would just walk us through what first tipped you off to it, and then how wide-ranging does the investigation go?
Yeah, so what I always tell people, and what we do isn't just limited to that period of time. We are working throughout the year doing this. This is just more of a concerted effort during that time period where we really try to sit in and focus on the crimes that you have up on that. And it's not just us, it's valley-wide. We utilize partners from all over the valley, including our federal partners as well. So we just happen to be the people that are hosting it.
Can you give us a little bit, as a mother of a 13-year-old, I have to say that's pretty kind of alarming. How did it work, and what did your officers do to find these people?
Let me see. The best way I can say is we put ourselves in a position where predators routinely try to engage with teenagers, juveniles, and adults for that matter. And from that, we utilize, just the training that we've learned and the undercover operations that we've done to try to cultivate, individual cases from that.
Has the problem grown worse in recent years, and if so, why?
Absolutely. This day and age with kids, you said you have a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
I have a 13-year-old as well. She has a cell phone. That is one of the biggest problems right there. And then it's not just having the cell phone, it's some of those different mediums, like if you've heard of Roblox or Discord or some of those other places. That is an area where these predators prey on kids.
At least you mentioned it, that Scottsdale is a big destination. I think it now ranks number one when it comes to like bachelorette parties and bachelor parties over Las Vegas. It's a big tourist destination. What was it that led you, Lieutenant, to really seek out this operation? Why was it something you needed to do now here?
I would say the biggest reason is just when we do these operations, and especially when we call on our partners to help us with this, you can only get those kind of results if you have the help of others. And you can only get those kind of results if you really focus in and do that. Because what we do throughout the years, we continue to do these things, but we don't necessarily have the manpower that we get when we do an operation that's in a, like a task force type of thing with all the Valley partners.
Did you, at any point, was there like phone calls from parents or cases that were brought to your attention where you thought, we need to do this now?
We got about a minute left.
No, not necessarily. And unfortunately, what I would tell you is that this is happening every day, all the time. So it is something where, frankly, we could work 7 days a week on this and never stop being busy.
Wow.
I think you should tell the story about the hotel manager. It's important to know that the department is working with resorts and
That's
hotels.
a great idea. We have to take a break here in about 10, 15 seconds. Well, can you guys hang with us till after the break? Is that okay? Okay, great, wonderful.
Okay. Hey, something else we do here on Fox 10 Talks, we pop up beautiful cameras from all over the world and let you guess. Join the conversation. Here's our mystery cam. Let us know what you think this is. We'll be right back. Okay, you mystery cam guessers, if you have an idea.
We've got some good guesses, Ron.
Oh, yeah? What are you seeing?
So we've got Hawaii from S. Marino 19, Virginia from Mike Lewis 21. He's one of our longest viewers as well.
Super loyal.
He's a super fan. Linda Montour says Florida. And we've got a South Carolina from Lil Philosophy, North Carolina from Paul Humphrey.
Now, we do have a temporary correction from Darren Lloyd. It's still dark in Hawaii.
That is also
what would it be
true.
Over there now, like 7:30 in the morning.
7:30. I think you're right.
7:30. By the way, next Sunday, don't forget everybody else changes your clocks. You just proceed as normal.
Oh, Ron, you're getting hearts on our chat.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, by the way, one other thing we just wanted to mention: 10:30 has arrived, so the window has now officially closed for the free T-shirts for today. But guess what? We're going to give away a bunch of them again tomorrow. We just had a couple of questions. Thought we'd kind of wrap up our.
Do we want to give the
here.
answer? Do either of you want to take a guess on the mystery camera?
No.
I'm good. Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, Lisa.
Nice.
Mayor Lisa.
I don't know. I'm at a loss. It's not Coronado. I know that.
Oh, not California.
Florida, because of all those palm trees. Celeste,
Yeah,
what do
me
you
too.
got?
I'm going to go Florida with you.
All right, here's your answer.
Okay, here it is. It is St. Petersburg, Florida.
Nice.
So if you guess Florida, you are the winner.
Hey, by the way, a moment ago, the mayor asked you, Lieutenant, to share one particular story that really hits home. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what people also need to know is that we do trainings with our hotel staff, our hotel management, and all the local business in the city. So off the heels of that training, we had a situation where a manager called us and said, hey, you know what? I just checked somebody in. It didn't really look right to me. There was a girl with them. She was very quiet, reserved, subdued. I tried talking to her, but she didn't really say anything. She didn't really look up at me. She looked at the guy that was checking in, and it all just kind of felt weird to me. And so he gave us information, sent us the video. We saw the video, like from the lobby. Yeah, that looks pretty odd. We did some investigative, techniques, and we looked into it, and lo and behold, that person ended up being a trafficker, and that woman ended up being a victim of trafficking.
Wow.
Boy, that really puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
That workplace training.
Yeah, no kidding.
Really helps.
Before we let you go, Mayor, could you give us an update on what's going on with Axon and the headquarters there in the north part of the city? What's the very latest?
So the latest is, as you know, there was a resolution, got a much better deal than what I started with as mayor on the high density units. There is litigation still pending, unfortunately. I'm thrilled to have kept Axon in our community. Super important. We're talking about, policing and law enforcement and keeping our community safe. Axon has a huge role in that. If people knew how many crimes are solved with Axon's products, the value of having them in our city is very, very high.
They've been in Scottsdale for a number of years.
They were started in Scottsdale by someone from Scottsdale, went to Chaparral. So pleased to have them remain in Arizona.
Well, I'll tell you
in
this
Scottsdale,
much.
more importantly.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
We have an open microphone here on Fox 10 Talks.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to stop by,
Thank you.
it's wide open.
You're hard to find, though.
And Lieutenant,
This is like
appreciate
Fort
you.
Knox up in here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we
Mayor,
are going to
Lieutenant,
continue
thank you.
on. And
Thank
once
you.
again, thanks for your time,
Thanks so much.
guys. Celeste, did you hear how hot it was this weekend?
It was a little steamy, Ron.
Yeah, so the Valley did break daily heat records over the weekend, Sunday. Now, this is interesting. We hit 90 on Sunday. It felt warmer. When I was walking across the parking lot yesterday, I'm like, oh, man, what is it, 100?
Yeah.
It barely cracked 90. But
it was nice.
No, hold on. That was Saturday.
Yeah, I think we hit 93.
93. Saturday was 90.
Yeah.
And we only hit 88 in Mesa. I felt kind of cheated.
That's why they say Mesa's a nice place, Ron.
But anyway, did you feel it?
I did a little bit. I've been trimming up my citrus trees in our backyard and refertilizing them, hoping to get some fresh citrus.
Yep.
So I've been breaking a sweat a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And there actually this morning, I don't know don't know if you guys who are watching on YouTube or on television, but have felt this morning there kind of was a light breeze, too.
Yes,
It was
that was
actually
nice.
really nice.
Can you believe we're going to be back in the 70s by the end of the week?
No,
Oh, my
it's going to
goodness.
be
Thank goodness,
amazing.
right?
Thank you, Mother
Yeah,
Nature.
no more of this test in the 90s, that's
No,
for
no,
sure.
no, no.
So you guys on YouTube, if you have any comments about the heat, and, oh, by the way, RLS Vids, well, it's a question for Scottsdale. Maybe the next time we have the mayor. When are they going to hire the boring company to dig a tunnel from Gilbert to Scottsdale? Too long of a drive.
You know,
That's a good point.
You know, there are parts. Here's the deal: the 202 Red Mountain. That's a pretty nice freeway.
I like it.
You know, it'll get you from Gilbert to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
But having a tunnel underground,
Yes.
that would be way better.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You'd probably stay nice and cool.
Yeah, for
underneath
sure.
there.
Hey, one more time. Now, here is our poll question. The day's topic, of course, is all of the military action happening on the other side of the world. So
Yes.
we definitely would love to be able to get some of your input. We now are going to be talking to Terry Davies. Now, Terry and his wife, they live in Anthem. But they have an apartment overseas in Dubai. He joins us right now. Terry, hello. Good morning.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah, Terry, let us know what's happening with your wife here. What's going on?
Well, she flew over there just a few days ago, actually, the day before the conflict happened. And we have an apartment at the marina there. And, of course, we all know what started to happen, which is very strange in the UAE because they usually they don't see anything like that there. And there's a video she sent me that she shot from the balcony of our apartment.
Wow.
And I don't know if you can hear her voice on it, but she's petrified.
Oh, understandably. Has she learned anything about when she might be able to get out of Dubai? Is she anxious to leave right now?
Well, all the airspace is closed, so I'll be honest, the government there are unbelievable at what they're doing for the residents and so on. But right now the space is closed. The plan was for me to fly there on Friday, which if the space is open, I'm going to, and then we were going on to Singapore a few days later, but for now it's a waiting game.
Well, we are so sorry to hear that. We're replaying the video and we can hear your wife's voice underneath. You mentioned what the government there is doing for people who are there in the city. What is it? What are they doing?
Well, of course, because it's run by the Sheikh, they can make decisions quickly. So one of the first things they did, I believe it was later yesterday afternoon their time, they ordered all the hotels and Airbnbs in the country to give accommodation to anybody that was displaced because of the travel, and the government is covering the cost of all of it. And in fact, my wife moved from, our apartment is on the 45th floor. She moved to a hotel where she could be on a lower floor.
Oh,
and the government there is covering the cost of everything. So that's the first thing they do. And then now they're working on something that's stopping any residents there from posting AI-created videos that show damage that isn't actually happening, you know.
Oh.
And has she been able to portray to you how people in Dubai feel about what's going on? I guess we all kind of knew there was this buildup to possible military action, but to have it hit home in Dubai is something completely new. What is she saying about how people are reacting there?
I think that she's had limited interaction with a lot of people, just the people that are in our apartment. Yeah. And I've been trying to only follow the official word there. It's a very right down the middle kind of place. So the feeling, and in fact, I believe I saw a video from the Iranian foreign minister. I think it's one of the only ones that he's done that made it clear that they were not attacking the UAE, they're attacking the US bases on there. Kind of doesn't matter when you see a missile coming in, you know.
Right.
But the general feeling is that this is not our war. You know, get out of this country. It's a very, very peaceful place there. And in Dubai, it's such a representation of people from all over the world. In fact, my wife, she's she's extremely scared. And I was talking to her on FaceTime, and she was with 3 or 4 people that were down in the lobby of the apartment. They basically they're sleeping on floors.
Wow.
But she was with an Iranian woman that lives in the same building, and a couple from Poland. And just all really just on the same page with what was happening. I think the biggest thing from what my wife told me, because she's a very strong woman, but she was very scared and crying. But she said, you hear about war zones and you see them on the TV, and it becomes a little bit of a let's scroll past to the next story. But when you look out your window and you see a missile coming down and being intercepted, it's the sound and the sight is just something else, next level.
Oh my goodness. Well, we our thoughts and prayers are with her as she's in Dubai, of course. How are you doing? And what's the plan moving forward? Are you thinking you're going to hunker down here in Arizona or in the United States, or do you have plans when they open up to go there, or she's hoping to come home?
So I was supposed to be flying on Friday, and then we were all going to Singapore and meet our son there. Our son's here in Arizona with me. He wants her to get out of there as soon as she can. She is in two minds, because even if the airspace opens, she feels safer on the floor than in the air. So it's one of those dichotomies that we're just waiting right now. The plan right now, should everything calm down and open up, is I'm going to go on Friday, and then we're going to go to Singapore next week. But we also have a plan B in place that if she can get out, they started some flights today. So if she can get out of there this week, she's going to fly to Singapore. I'm going to fly to Singapore, and then we'll be out of the danger area, so to speak.
Well, that's good to get that confirmation, because we had seen the report that they said tonight. So it's already tonight in Dubai that they were going to try to at least partially open that airspace. Well, like Syleste said, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your wife, and always listen to the wisdom of a son. This is one of my favorite. So true. Right? I mean, he says, get out of there when you can. Aww. Anyway, we sure appreciate your time, and hopefully everything works out in the next few days.
Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you. Wow, what an ordeal.
Yeah, no kidding.
My goodness. Can you imagine
Syleste,
your wife there?
I know. Hey, one more story before we go to break. Talk about an ordeal. February 26th, they got a call that somebody was stuck. Did you see this video? It came in from Putnam County, and it was a guy that got trapped in, they said it was quicksand. That's not just mud.
Oh my gosh.
They said it was quicksand. And so they get out there with the ladders and the ropes. I mean, this was really quite amazing.
So quicksand really does exist.
Yes.
Because it would be like the movies, so right? The movies of the 80s, like you always just thought, oh, quicksand.
Syleste, when I was a kid growing up in Washington, I remember a friend of mine said, don't go to the other side of the bowling alley because there's quicksand over there.
And you went anyway.
I stayed 5 blocks away. I practically went to the bowling alley.
Oh, my gosh.
Quicksand.
But they get the guy out?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Thank goodness.
Look at that.
Wow.
He's okay. And we're glad you're hanging out with us. It's Fox 10 Talks now on Fox 10. By the way, if you're looking for Sherry, she is just getting ready for her show.
Yes, she is.
Normally at 10, you can now have Sherry at 11 right here on Fox 10. And
I
then,
think
of course,
she's
Fox 10
happy to
News at
have the
noon.
extra time. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
I mean, ladies like a little bit of extra time to spruce up, Ron.
Celeste, believe me, I've seen your behind-the-scenes videos.
Oh, my gosh.
But, believe me, you're beautiful before and after.
Oh,
you're
Ron, you're
perfect,
sweet.
Celeste.
Ron.
One of these days, why don't you do the show without makeup?
Like a come as you are day?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
You guys would think it was like Scream the movie on TV. What's happening? Who is this person?
Oh, brother. So untrue. Well, you're seeing some cool comments from
Yeah,
folks.
we are. You guys are amazing. If you are new, obviously, or maybe you're like, hey, what is happening on Fox 10 right now? You can go to YouTube, go to Fox 10 Phoenix, go to the live box, and you're going to find us here in the chat. You can join the chat and throw your name in there and let us know where you're watching from if you're new here or if you're watching on the app. We'd love for you to chat with us on YouTube and then also watch on television as well. Let's give a quick shout out here to Steph Lacey, RLS Vids. We've got Joshua Tovar and Burger Boys 25. He's actually watching as well because we're having a little burger convo.
Yeah, we are.
This morning. And the whole idea behind Fox 10 Talks, and Ron, you may have touched on this earlier, but we've been at this for a couple years.
Almost 2 years to the day.
Yeah, almost 2 years. And it's a longer form, meaning that, we have a lot of guests on, either by Zoom or in person, and we could talk about the news of the day, but in a longer format and not have the time constraints maybe that we have had in typical TV.
I'm going to predict that other stations around the country are going to copy this.
Oh.
Because how perfect is it to watch? We do this amazing newscast from 4:30 to 10 every morning. You get all the info.
Yeah.
And there are probably a few thoughts that you have.
Yeah.
This is a chance to just
a few.
Share your thoughts. Interactive on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then we also do this thing called the viewer voicemail.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
And so on Friday, we were having a discussion about grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh, we were asking, what's your favorite item on a good grilled cheese sandwich?
And then it got this whole discussion going of what is the best of all comfort foods. Is it a grilled cheese sandwich?
Yeah.
Do you like soup with crackers?
Oh,
what is
so
your
good.
go-to?
Is it a burger? Is it a lasagna?
And so the viewer voicemail, I'm going to pop this up right now so that you know exactly where it is. Jot this one down. Keep it handy. You can interact with us anytime you want. 602-262-0428. By the way, you can ask us any questions or any suggestions you have. All of that. We love it. But here was our viewer voicemail from over the weekend on comfort food.
Oh, on comfort food, it's got to be chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and some good sautéed vegetables. Or biscuits and gravy, sausage gravy. Man, I love them both. Thank you.
Okay, well, it's hard to argue with that kind of thinking.
Chicken
Celeste.
fried steak?
Yeah.
That sounds good, Ron.
Yeah, no kidding.
Anything fried sounds delicious. By the way, we have our winners,
Okay.
Ron,
Yeah.
of our semi...
I got to ask some questions around here. What does a semi-limited shirt mean?
I don't know, but this is it.
I guess it means we're giving them away for the next 2 weeks.
But not forever, so you want to get in on it.
Yeah,
Get in
so
on the action.
The window is tomorrow morning. Be sure to watch from 10 to 10:30. Watch us here on Fox 10 or on YouTube, whatever you want to do.
Yes.
And then register. And okay, so here we go. We have Darla up in Golden Valley.
Yes.
We have SE in Phoenix.
Oh, they're like, that's like a fancy name. It's like SZA. SZA, but it's
yeah.
SE
Okay,
in Golden.
SE. If you
Yeah,
want to tell
in
us what your
Phoenix.
nickname is, go for it. Michelle, representing the East Valley. She's out in Chandler. Mm-hmm. And then Philip and Keith right here in Phoenix.
That's right. So
That's
all
so
of you,
cool.
congratulations. You're going to get one of these cool shirts, our semi
Limited.
edition t-shirt.
Okay. Well, yeah, they are semi-limited, at least for the next 2 weeks. Celeste, there's an old saying in the business world.
Yes.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely.
What about Burger King announcing changes to the Whopper. This would be like McDonald's changing the Big Mac.
What is happening? Why change something?
All right, so they have announced that they're going to change the Whopper for the first time in about a decade. Apparently, they've been asking customers what they want, and they're now going to serve the burger with a different bun and with different mayo.
Oh, what kind of mayo?
Well, I don't know, but the patty remains the same, and they're still going to have the freshly cut onions and the tomatoes and the lettuce and the tangy pickles. But the word is that, and this is probably my biggest complaint about the Whopper, and I'm a fan. This weekend, I didn't feel like I could splurge on a full Whopper, Celeste.
Why is that, Ron?
Well, do you know how much a real Whopper is, the big one? It's like $6.49.
Do you remember when it used to be 99 cents?
I totally do.
Oh, those are the days.
Sometimes a guy is called upon to make a smarter dollar decision, and I did get a Whopper Junior.
Oh, okay.
But it's wrapped in
Was it
paper.
as filling? Did it do the job?
No. I'm ready to splurge again. But anyway, I think they're going to put them in boxes now, cardboard recyclable boxes.
Okay.
Rather than into paper, because that does have a tendency to make it mushy.
I think they need to put it in foil, like aluminum, like almost like Five Guys. I don't know if anybody in the chat or you guys how you like your burgers, but I do like my bun kind of softened and gooey with the cheese and everything.
Oh, you do?
Ooh, it sounds so good.
All right.
I love myself a burger.
Do you?
My mouth is salivating.
Well, okay. Is that what happens? You just start,
Ron.
You start thinking about
I'm
food?
gonna have to wipe my mouth with this T-shirt right here. By the way, Darla did ask, how do we sign up for the T-shirts?
Oh, good, yeah.
Go to fox10phoenix.com/contests to enter 10 a.m. to 10:30 every single day this week, actually for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then in the 10:30 to 11 o'clock half hour, then we're going to announce the winners.
So join us tomorrow morning on Fox 10 TV and on YouTube. I forgot to check Dave to see if I had a feeling he might be wearing his. No,
not today.
You got one though.
I love it. It's my favorite shirt.
Yeah, I know.
He had to, today's his first day on Fox 10. He had to wear the collared shirt, Ron.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
believe
nice
me.
golf shirt.
I was convinced he was.
Do you
gonna,
play golf?
No, no.
No, I was convinced he was going to show up with a new haircut. Right, Dave?
Maybe like new color,
a new hairstyle, something like. Oh, don't change your color. We love that redhead.
We love the red.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Dave's over there reading your comments constantly, and he is a big part of our show.
Have you guys ever seen the Kill Tony, the comedian on YouTube?
No.
Big D, have you?
Yeah.
Tony, no. He's got a funny comedian on his show, and they call him the Big Red Machine.
Oh yeah,
funny.
New nickname alert for Big D, the Big Red Machine.
Sounds fun.
BRM. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
When it comes to comedians, I get Nate Bargatze fed to me.
Oh, he's good.
Multiple times a day on YouTube.
He's
I guess
funny.
when you start watching his jokes, they feed you more and more.
Yeah.
Right.
There's something about laughter, right? It feeds the soul. Like it just kind of
it
boom.
does. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about burgers. I still think, Celeste, hold on here. Here's that number again. What's your favorite burger? Let's make that could be a possible topic for tomorrow's viewer voicemail. I did, Celeste, also treat myself to a double-double.
Oh, a double-double and a junior on the same day?
Actually,
wow.
It was different days.
Living like a king.
Yeah. Living like a king at Burger King. But, the thing about those double-doubles at In-N-Out, you almost can't finish them.
Oh, really? I can.
Can you?
Yeah. Well, I do protein style. I do no bun, lettuce instead. And actually, I skip the special spread.
Yeah.
And I do sub mustard instead. That's my order.
Cool.
And no onions.
Okay, so really no onion?
No onions.
Onions are. I made spaghetti this weekend, and I chopped up half of an onion.
Oh, really?
Threw it in there.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, so give us your burger chat, or Celeste, we can always open up viewer voicemail to ask us anything.
Yeah, you can ask us anything.
Yeah.
If you have a question about Ron's burger choices, or what he puts it, what's his spaghetti,
or how my flag football team is doing. I'm coaching my 7-year-olds, my grandson and his buddies.
That's so sweet.
Anyway, okay, before we run out of time, I just want to mention, Celeste, to me, this is one of the greatest days of the year, March 2nd.
Yes. Tell me why. Because you're alive.
Sure.
You know what? If you woke up today, and you were able to pop out of bed, and God gave you another chance to do it, it's your day.
By the way, Buddha Sheep is like, no onions for the win. Celeste, I knew there was another reason I liked you.
Thank you, Buddha Sheep.
And not only is it rollout day on Fox 10 TV, but Celeste, I'm very happy about this to announce it is, if you're ready for it, Dr. Seuss's birthday.
That is a good book.
To think that I saw it on Mulberry Street.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good one from Dr. Seuss.
I'm going to be going out to classrooms later this week and reading once again. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Weren't you going to a Mrs. Hoon's classroom for a long time and she retired?
Yes, Mrs. Paula Hoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on the west side. And then this is Papago School, by the way, which I think they renamed it to Iron Mountain Academy. Anyway, I'll be going there later this week. They have an amazing Miss Calazzo who organizes all of it. And I also got into the habit, Celeste, I bet it's been 30 years since I went to Joseph Zito Elementary School.
Wow.
And so Miss Niave has now retired, but you know what she does? I would come and read to her kids, and she would bake me a big plate of enchiladas.
Oh, green or red?
They were green.
Yum.
And anyway, she's retired, and she still shows up and hands me some enchiladas.
That's so
Homemade
great.
Recipe better than anything you could buy in the store.
That's so amazing.
So hello to the students at Zito Elementary School, and I cannot wait to come out and read to you.
That's so great. Okay, so we also are talking about our favorite books, yes?
Oh, yeah. Do you have a favorite, like a childhood book or a Dr. Seuss?
I was just looking it up. There is The Giving Tree. Have you all heard of it?
Yeah.
The Giving Tree. The kid has this relationship with the tree, and they give back and forth.
Is this what your favorite was?
Yeah, it's one of them. One of them. But I mean, Brown Bear, what do you see?
All right.
That's Ron's like, I have no idea.
I tried to read Cat in the Hat to my little grandson Stutterbug, who's 2, and he was not having it.
Have you read him?
It's Cat in the Hat.
What about Green Eggs and Ham?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we used to sing that at the dinner table when the kids did not eat. We're like, hey, we'd pull the book out at the dinner table.
Okay. Hey, one last thought before we go. The Phoenix Zoo has nailed it again, Celeste. Remember Punch the monkey that went viral for his stuffed toy? Well, at the Phoenix Zoo, they gave Bodie his very own do you say orangutan, or do you pronounce it properly at orangutan?
I say orangutan because I did a project on it in 3rd grade on orangutans.
I guess I have to change. But anyway, look at this. Now he's going to go viral.
Oh, Ron, look at the embrace.
He loves his toy with a big smooch.
We hope you guys are embraced like this today.
Yeah.
Right, Ron?
Sure.
I mean, not thrown around like this.
No. Yeah.
But
that probably hurt upon landing. We'll be back tomorrow with more of Fox 10 Talks.
Thanks for joining us, and we love that you join us in the chat on YouTube. Subscribe, follow us, and thank you for liking the video. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great job, guys.
Hi, welcome back in, everyone. We're going to keep this train rolling
on down.
The Blondes Who Babble.
There you go.
Ty's on vacation all week.
All week,
You'll
yes.
be here with me all week?
Except Wednesday. So I think you have Des Wednesday.
You're not allowed to have a day off. Not allowed to have a day off.
It's because I have to work on Saturday, so it's technically not a day
We're just
off.
technically swapping days. We're going to start with...
But tune in on Saturday
There
morning.
we go. We have a really fantastic guest. Michael Rubin is joining us. Michael, good morning to you. We are talking about the very latest that is happening with these airstrikes that took place early Saturday in Iran. President awarding honors of medal earlier today, and obviously talking a little bit about what is happening there.
Nope, stand by.
Absolutely.
Oh, there we go.
Certainly, this is
there we go.
completely unheralded. We haven't seen anything like this. The Supreme Leader is dead. So is his son. So is his granddaughter. So are some of the former presidents. And so now the big question is, what comes next? How does the president fill this vacuum?
Okay, so are we calling this a war? Is this still an airstrike? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth spoke from the Pentagon very early this morning, and he did use the word war. He said this was not going to be a very long war. How do you characterize what is happening right now?
Look, I'm not a lawyer, but it's become quite common in the Washington context when the Democrats, there's a Democratic president who starts a military campaign, the Republicans complain that it's not legal, and vice versa. And that's the same sort of pattern which we see right now. That said, the last time we've really declared war was World War II. And then we've had a number of police actions, a number of other actions in which there's been an authorization for the use of military force. Long story short, the lawyers are going to hash this out, but the air campaign is going to continue. That said, President Trump has said privately this is only going to last at most 40 days, and he's also told people that he believes he's ahead of schedule right now.
And Michael, we have a question in our chat. It says the thoughts on how long this will last with Iran, and do you, I should say, hear any chatter about sleeper cells happening? And then also, too, for the general public out there who has no knowledge of why this started, what's the purpose of all of this? If you could maybe break that down into simpler terms for folks out there who don't understand the purpose of all of this.
Well, let's start with the second question first. With regard to Iran's nuclear program, in 2005, the International Atomic Energy Agency, that's the UN agency in charge, said, Iran isn't complying, and therefore we're going to take this to the United Nations Security Council. And the crisis has been there ever since. The difference between Iraq and Iran in terms of the intelligence is in Iraq, the George W. Bush administration got the intelligence wrong because you had signals intelligence, like intercepted phone calls and stuff like that, and then debriefing with polygraphs of defectors. And they were both convinced that Saddam had nukes, and therefore they were affirming the bad intelligence. Saddam basically outbluffed his own people. When it comes to Iran, what you actually have is a series of Iran getting caught in inspection lies. And so in 2011, the UN published a report about if this is a civilian program, why is it that you're working on warhead design? Why is it you're trying to come up with explosives to implode a nuclear device or mathematical modeling on a nuclear explosion? Now, Iran wasn't going to give this up in negotiations, and the reason is simple. The Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei, spent 40 years on this program. And he spent perhaps $2 trillion worth of sanctions, missed opportunities, and development missed opportunities. He wasn't going to be able to convince his base that their sacrifice was worth it for giving this up. They had already enriched uranium to the point near where the Hiroshima nuclear weapon was. And while the United States talks about nuclear weapons as if we were designing them, if you put dirty radiological material in a warhead striking Israel, striking Saudi Arabia, striking Kuwait, where have you, and it doesn't explode, but it's radioactive, you have a dirty bomb, that itself is a problem. So we really have been kicking the can down the road for decades, and basically the road ended.
Can we go back, if you don't mind, Michael, to June 22nd, I believe, 2025 last year, when we had that initial, what we had hoped was, or the president called, a destruction of the nuclear facilities. Did we ever determine if everything was destroyed? And is the concern here, we don't really know how much Iran has?
Well, there's 400 some odd missing kilograms of highly enriched uranium. Donald Trump said that he destroyed the program. Donald Trump says a lot of things. What we really don't know for sure. That would be in the classified realm. That said, one thing that's important to point out about the June 2025 war, the timing of that was determined by Iran rebuilding its anti-aircraft capability from the April and October 2024 Israeli strikes. Now, because when the U.S. operates or Israel operates, they don't want to do it when they might be facing anti-aircraft missiles. I think that perhaps Russia and China have a lot to answer for this window of diplomacy closing, because with Russia shipping Iran anti-aircraft missiles now, China talking about shipping Iran carrier-killer missiles, it really closed, it slammed the door on negotiations. We just ran out of time.
That's an excellent point, and something that I've heard a lot of people discussing. We haven't really heard much from Russia or China, and so are they supplying Iran? We've heard from the British Prime Minister, who is now saying you can use one of our bases for defense purposes, whereas previously they didn't want to get involved. Are Russia and China, how involved are they in what is happening, and how much support are they offering Iran?
Well, Russia and China, if they were supporting Iran, they no longer can. That's off the table. The country which has truly been hurt most by Donald Trump's recent actions over the last 3 months has been China, because China was purchasing, I think, most of Venezuela's oil, most of Iran's oil, and now that's simply dried up. With regard to Russia, Russia lost one of its chief proxies in Syria. It lost one of its chief proxies in Iran. They might be feeling rather isolated right now, especially because from the Russian point of view, the war in Ukraine isn't going that well.
Mike, we have another comment, and I was just about to ask you this as well. The worry that Americans have of what this will do to the United States, will any of this the residual effects of what's going on over there in the Middle East, will it have on America right here in the United States?
If I can add to that, aside from gas prices, everyone's already talking about crude oil prices. So that's kind of a given in a sense. But what else are we looking at?
Well, first of all, the crude oil prices won't last long because remember, Iran was sanctioned. Most of their oil was off the table anyway. But with regard to sleeper cells, this is something we need to worry about. But the sleeper cells might not be directly from Iranians. In 2006, of course, in Arkansas, we had a case in which a member of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps successfully infiltrated the Arkansas National Guard. He was caught because of too much loose talk in an Arkansas bar, and ended up being deported on immigration charges. Then in 2010, there was a much more serious plot to kill the Saudi ambassador in Washington, D.C. by exploding a car bomb in the heart of Washington, D.C. For that operation, the Iranians had linked up with a Mexican cartel, and that's actually standard practice. We've seen that with various terrorist attacks in Buenos Aires, in Argentina in 1992 and 1994, in Germany, as well. So we do need to be on guard.
And what would the goal be, do you think, moving forward in terms of, how long is this going to last? What's the end game here? Where does this go from here?
Yeah, the president said just a couple of weeks tops.
Yeah, the president's told people privately about 40 days, but this is the big question in the region. Look, when you have a hornet's nest, you have two good options. One is to leave it alone. The other is to get rid of it. But you don't want to come down in the middle, standing underneath it, lightly tapping it with a stick, and then walk away. That's been the concern of many of our Arab allies in the Persian Gulf. But with Iran, I think, making a strategic mistake by striking at them, many of the Arabs are coming off that fence. And so I think we're looking at regime change. Now, one thing that is an open question is whether Donald Trump wants a Venezuela model or whether he wants a complete regime change. We're talking about who the bombs have killed. the supreme leader, the former president Ahmadinejad. But what we're not talking about is who the bombs haven't struck. People like former President Mohammad Khatami or President Hassan Rouhani or the National Security Advisor Ali Larijani. Are they simply just on the Plan B list for destruction, or does President Donald Trump have a hope to reach out to them and put them in some sort of provisional command?
We have about 2 minutes left. Michael, and thank you so much for your time. You're such a wealth of knowledge and information. We are seeing people celebrating in the streets in America, Iranian American, here in Phoenix, Los Angeles, really nationwide. They are celebrating, and some of the sound that we are hearing here in Arizona, I think you covered the story this morning.
It was in Scottsdale yesterday.
They said that they've never been able to gather in such a celebration.
A lot. The one gentleman that we spoke to says, this typically would get you killed to do so. To be able to be out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and, saying how we feel. And
are they premature in this celebration? Do we need to wait to see what happens next?
There's an old Russian joke about the difference between an optimist and a pessimist. The Russian pessimist says things have never been so bad. War, famine, economy, health, they couldn't possibly get worse. And the Russian optimist said, no, they can always get worse. And so as a policymaker, it behooves us to be sort of like that Russian optimist and consider what might go wrong. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. The fact of the matter is, and I used to live in the Islamic Republic of Iran, of course, because I did my doctorate there in Iranian history, that you've got a situation where Iranians don't want to live under dictatorship. They've been immunized from this ideology of radical Islamism. They want freedom. They want something better. But it's the guys with the guns that matter. And so the big question moving forward is, how are you going to get the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to stand down? How are you going to get them to defect? And only when that happens can Iran see a better future.
Do you have an idea of how that will happen?
I think it's already starting to happen. The question is, Iran can be a country of 40 generals for every private, and so how many different groups will be there? The ultimate political question is, how do you fill the vacuum? Some people are saying the former Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Other people are talking about the Iran Freedom Congress, which is a coalition of opposition groups. Donald Trump may be talking about some former regime officials, but I think the Iranians do hope to head into a constitutional convention. One final point of American optimism: Iran had a constitutional revolution in 1909, and it ushered in a period of real democracy for about a decade.
Michael?
And so while in Iraq and Afghanistan, people said democracy is not possible, Iranians see it as an indigenous something that they can achieve.
Michael Rubin, thank you so much, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Thank you for your knowledge. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, welcome back in, everyone. Our next guest is Dean Wegner.
That's right.
With Sunflower Bank. We're talking mortgage rates, and I wanted to bring you in on Friday, so you're here. Thank you so much, because I heard reports that the mortgage rate finally fell below 6%. But then we have this, I guess, war, if you call it that,
Yes.
that started over the weekend. And the first question we both asked you when you sat down was, will that affect these lower mortgage rates?
Which is crazy to think that it would. I mean, thinking of like mortgage rates and a war
what's happening overseas in the
Middle East, it's
like
crazy.
Homeowners in the United States are affected by this operation.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, this morning we are. So we had a very negative open, unfortunately, and we open negative and positive all the time, and it's within reason, it's predictable, and you're like, okay, but this morning, I mean, it was pretty big, and so we're like, okay, what's going on? So we pay attention to it, we look into it, and the conclusion was, if you look back at the last 3 major Middle East events that were similar to what happened this weekend, so you had Soleimani that got assassinated in 2020, you had Operation Midnight Hammer, which was last year in Iran, October 7th, which was the Gaza Israeli, and the markets all reacted exactly like what we're experiencing this morning, which is, basically 3 steps backwards after we took 2 steps forward. So
would you call it panic? Is that what's happening? People are panicking?
It's hedging. We're talking billions and trillions of dollars. So this isn't a little bit of money that's moving around. And essentially, if you look at the 10-year Treasury note this morning, I mean, it just opened for extremely worse. And so that affects mortgage bonds. And so that's why we're like, okay, what's going on? But the good news is, I think if we wait it out, give it 10, 20 days from now, we'll be back below that 6% that we're all looking for, and we should be, blue skies ahead.
And what about homeowners currently? Does this have any effect on them?
Zero.
Okay.
Unless you have like a home equity line of credit and they mess with prime rate, but I highly doubt that that's the case.
Okay, let's talk about then Friday. I'm driving home and I hear on the radio, fantastic news. Rates have dropped down to 5.99%. When's the last time we saw it? Because that sounds so low. We're at a 2.99.
Yeah, good job.
And we're not going anywhere because of that. But 5.99 sounds good. It's in the
5s.
It sounds
right?
reasonable.
It's that mental threshold. I've got a rate in the 5s. Maybe I'm in the 7s or the high 6s, and now you're in the 5s, and that's what everybody wants. And leading up to this, it wasn't just magically on Friday rates got low. It's been trending down all through February, and so it was like, we're high-fiving at work. You can imagine. I mean, it's been a pretty dry 3 years for refinances. Typically, refinances make up about 60% of our mortgage origination. So it's a big part of our livelihood. So when it goes to 100% purchase only, we're excited that refinances are coming back. Not only that, but clients call you and they're like, how much am I going to save? And you're like, $60. And they're like, it's not worth it. Now it's like, hey, you're going to save $175 or $220. And so that's where the motivation starts, and people are, starting to really want to refinance.
And speaking of the mortgage rates, there's differences of a home that's already existing, new builds. A lot of these new builders are incentivizing, going with them so they can lower those mortgage rates. They're buying them for the homeowner.
That's right. Yeah. So builders do what's called a forward commitment, and they get a huge block of money. They pay for this, of course, but that's how they're able to offer below market interest rates. And so that is one thing that the builders have been doing actually for the last couple of years to really, to help people to they're professional home sellers, right? They know what they're doing. They're not. But in terms of like, you can refinance, you can purchase. Another great thing is like low to moderate income. People don't realize this benefit that's going out there, and everyone knows first-time home buyer. There's incentives for first-time home buyer. But really, if your income in Maricopa County is below $89,250, you qualify for low to moderate income. And that way you get, I'm going to tell you, extremely low interest rates. And that's for purchase, refinance, second home, anybody that has that income, even an investor, you get a huge subsidy. And this is from the feds. It's not a state, county, or city program. This is a federal incentive for low to moderate income. And that's available to anybody.
Folks at home, if you're watching, I would love to hear from you. Let us know what your mortgage rate is if you're willing to share that, and what your thoughts are about the mortgage rates finally dipping, hopefully below that 6. We do have a question from Brian 2136 who says, how does this affect federal mortgage rates?
Well, federal mortgage rates are going to fall under Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Which is what you were just talking about.
Yeah, and that's like, when you see on, all the rates that we're talking about, that's what's going to be affected immediately. Outside of that, I mean, truthfully, all the mortgage money, the $6-7 trillion that's lent right now, that's all through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Outside of that, it's going to be your private bank stuff that you're dealing with. That doesn't move as much, with the war as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, just because they're $1 trillion investors, not $1 billion investors.
In the war itself, you were saying, give it 20 days? days
I'd say
or
20 days we
so.
should be back to normal, yeah.
Okay.
And remember, we get the new Fed chair coming in May, Kevin Warsh, which everyone's really excited about. And Trump basically told him, you're going to listen to what I'm telling, which is not, he really can't do that. But he's basically saying, you need to lower interest rates, stimulate this economy, get real estate back in order, get people to refinance, save some money, and let's get things back on track.
Okay, so I guess break it down then a little bit for us, because we're used to in Arizona pre-COVID, we had the lower rates, the housing prices were low compared to the rest of the country. We spike up. The mortgage rates spike up. What are we potentially seeing? And when you're saying make it more affordable, I mean, we had so many, first-time home buyers saying, I can't do this. Yeah. I can't pay
Especially
rent. I can't
COVID
save. So, realistically, like, what is this going to mean potentially if the rates can continue to drop?
Well, we're going to stimulate things. So you're going to see, a lot of people have been wanting to do cash out refinances. So they want to do home improvement. They, like yourself, you don't want to move. You want to do an addition. You want to put in a pool, a block fence. Who knows what you want to do with that money?
I want to fix my pool that has a leak in it.
There you go. Yeah. So, but here's a great example. So on a $400,000 loan, going from 6% to 5%, just round numbers. This isn't the rates, but you're going to save about $250 a month. Remember, that's after tax dollars. So that's closer to $350, on your W-2 earnings. So to me, that's a lot of money. $250 moves the needle.
Absolutely.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So at what point do people come see someone like you and say, I'd like to refinance? Maybe they bought a couple of years ago when the rates were in the 8s or the 9s. And this sounds like a big savings.
It is, and that's a great question. And I would say if you have any concern to save some money and potentially refinance, reach out to your preferred mortgage officer, have them run the numbers right now, and then set a target. So that previous example where I say, you know what, you're going to save $120, but if rates get to this, you'll save $250, and then that person might be like, call me when that happens. And so then you create an alert system so that when it does happen, because I will tell you, when you mentioned 2.99, when rates were that low back in 2020, some companies, not my company, but were taking 6 months to refinance. So if you can get into the front of that line versus the end of that line and close your refinance within 25 days, because right now it's about 25 days start to finish. It's not that bad at all.
How do you lock into a rate? Let's say you like this 5.99 and you want to lock in, but you want to keep watching that 20-day. What's the safest way to ensure you're going to be able to lower your rate?
Another great question. So there's what's called a lock with float down. So you could take advantage of the rate right now, and then if rates get 0.25% or lower during your lock term, so typical lock term's 30 days. So between now and then, if it does go 0.25% lower, free of charge, you can take advantage of the new lower rate.
Awesome. How do people get a hold of you?
At teamdean.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Team Dean.
Okay, you're on speed dial. You were wonderful. Thank you. We'll bring you back in April when that new Fed takes over.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, so really quickly, we are going to end on a very fun note. Did you play the board game Clue? Danielle?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No,
oh
I'm so sorry.
I loved Clue.
I'm sorry.
Well, Mesa has something really, really fun. This is called a Clue Walking Mystery. I'm Arwyn Jackson.
Yes.
You are the producer of this.
I am the associate producer.
Brilliant.
Clue Walking Mystery.
How's it going to work?
It is the opposite of everything we were just talking about. It is everything fun, and
we need that in a world like today,
War and mortgage rates. Yes, we'll stick to the fun.
We're going to stick to Clue, a Walking Mystery. So it is an in real life immersive experience based on Clue, the board game. So in this premise, though. The murder that happened in the Clue the board game at the Tudor Mansion, it happened 70 years ago. Nobody ever solved the mystery. So the Tudor Mansion was auctioned off, and all of the furniture was auctioned off, and can you believe it? It was all auctioned off to downtown Mesa, Arizona.
It wound up here.
Crazy.
And this is, so kind of walk me through the process. If you buy tickets to this, how does it all work? We're seeing some video right now.
This is Chicago.
That's Chicago.
That is Michigan Avenue with the Chicago Theater,
that is
my
so
hometown.
cool.
Yeah. So you get a clue and you have to go from storefront to storefront?
Yeah, you're going to start with my cast of butlers at Mesa Arts Center who brought us in. So you start there. We give you the entire introduction. We give you these auction catalogs and a map, and you go to 8 different businesses around town that have partnered with us. You find pieces of furniture, you solve escape room style puzzles to get all of your clues, and then you got to put it all together and figure out who killed Body Black in what room and with what weapon.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah. It's always the wrench. I feel like it's always the wrench. They killed her.
I mean,
with
it
the
might
wrench.
be. You've got to come and investigate. We need you to come.
How long does it take start to finish? Because it looks like you might have a lovely evening doing this.
Well, here's the fun thing is we are all about fun at Clue, so it's untimed. If you wanted to do it as fast as you possibly could, I think you would maybe be able to get it done in an hour, because you are walking to these different locations, solving these fantastic clues and mysteries. But if you wanted to stop and get something to eat, if you wanted to get a nice little drink or
downtown
cocktail,
Mesa is the best.
Yeah, and
It's
we have some great places on our route. You can get Mad Candy. You can go to 12 West Brewery. You can sneak into the Paranormal Museum. All of them are our partners.
Go get an Outcast donut.
Right? You pass by there for sure.
If they get that sugar, it'll energize you.
Absolutely.
This is such a fantastic way not only to have a good time and get a group of people together, but also to explore Mesa.
Yes.
Mesa has grown and changed so much in just the past 5 years.
Yeah. And honestly, all of our business partners are amazing. We were just delivering all of the set pieces yesterday and chatting with them, and they're excited to welcome everybody into their space. And there is so much to discover in downtown Mesa.
There really is.
There's so much there that you wouldn't even expect. They're kind of like tucked away. So we're excited to give everybody the opportunity to explore that as well.
Is this the first time you guys have done this?
No.
Okay.
We have done Clue in 13 different cities.
Oh, but the first time in Mesa.
First time in Mesa, absolutely.
How exciting.
Yeah.
And is it
thank
like a
you to the
group?
Mesa Arts Center
So
for
you
that.
travel around the whole nation doing this?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you have a favorite city where you've done this?
Well, of course, right now it's Mesa.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's going to be Mesa. Yes.
How
I'm sure. I'm
Here on
guaranteed
out.
it will be.
Yes. And is it like a group of people? How many people go in one?
So you would sign up with a group.
Okay.
Absolutely. We try to limit our groups to 5 people because you are walking into businesses and going into other places. So having a group of 15 can be quite large. You would maybe break that up.
Yep.
But yeah, sign up with your friends or family. Come down as a team. As you can see in the video, you can dress up if you want to. It's really all about enjoying time together. You're not on screens. You're looking at a map. You're solving
talking.
puzzles.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So this isn't like one particular specific game night. Someone says you're getting your steps into. Excellent point there.
Yes, you are.
So it's not
wear
like
walking
one
shoes.
specific night that you're holding this event. This is an ongoing.
Yeah. So we will be Thursday night, Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday for the next 4 weekends.
Oh.
Yeah. So
plenty
right
of
up
time.
until March 29th. Lots of time frames available. We send teams every 20 minutes. So there's all sorts of chances to come and do something really fun, really different.
So fun. What's your
Before it gets
website?
too hot.
Yes, exactly. How do you find more information or tickets?
On the Mesa Arts Center website, they are who are hosting us and brought us in. Thanks to them and all the great work that they do there. And it's right on their website that you can get tickets.
Amazing.
So
Thanks
fun.
for coming to Mesa.
Thank you
Anita
so much
will be
for
there to
having me come.
investigate.
Oh,
Yes,
maybe. I do love a good thriller.
You got
Everyone
to tell
knows
me
that.
if it's the wrench or not.
Thank
you know?
Yeah, we appreciate it. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you guys so much. Oh, that's so sweet. I'll introduce you to Mel about your neighbor.
Well, I don't know, Des. 11:30, I'm looking for my communication from one Dean Fazzini to find out where that is, but it looks like another pretty golf course somewhere. Last week we had a golf course in Alabama, which apparently they have... Oh, there you go. It's Waynesville.
Oh.
North Carolina.
That's pretty. Nice and green.
Have you spent any time in the Carolinas?
No.
No.
I lied.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot. My cousin. I forgot.
That's not a very good endorsement. Oh, yeah, I was there, but I kind of forgot.
No, mom brain. Yeah, I have some family in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you've been to see him about how many times?
Dozens? Really? No, only once. Oh. Yeah. No, I grew up with this cousin, love her, and then she moved there with her husband, and David and I went for a visit. Oh, gosh.
Yeah?
It's been a while now, probably shortly after we got married. So it's been, 6 years at least, maybe.
Well, you know that my son and his wife, Jordan and Kelsey, and their 5 kids, they all moved to South Carolina, which I loved South Carolina.
Do they like it?
Columbia. They really liked it while they were there. I didn't, you get to be very familiar with the Atlanta airport because you got to go through Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. I would time it. Yeah. Is it faster to just get a rental car and hop in the car and go, or wait a couple hours for a puddle jumper?
What would you do?
I tried them both. I actually love driving, so I ended up going that way.
Nope. Me, I'm like, nope, plane.
Yeah. Des,
Get me there fast.
By the way, I know you've looked over the lineup here. I can't wait for your report.
Yes.
If you guys missed Des at Ted's today, it was the highlight of the morning show.
It's the highlight of my morning, for sure.
It looks so amazing.
It's so cool. It's a place that started in Buffalo, and it just... it feels like home.
Yeah.
When I'm there for me. Go. So it's nice to have highlighted a place from Western New York. So
WJBK for the Buffalo region.
I know. Yeah. Can I sign off the way I used to? I probably.
Yeah, sure. What'd you say?
I would say. Well, at the time I was Wiley. So I'd say, Desiree Wiley, 7 Eyewitness News.
Oh, wow.
We were WKBW Eyewitness News.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, I can't wait to actually go spend time in Buffalo. I'm kind of almost leaning. I've whittled my list of states. Every year I go, and for a whole week I explore. I'm kind of thinking about New York.
All right. Well, I'll have your food tour ready to go for you.
That could be like 2 whole days.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the news here, because some of the latest information coming in regarding the military strikes in Iran and the killing of the supreme leader of Iran, who basically they've only had 2 ayatollahs. And it was very interesting to me that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, brought up the fact that this, in a way, he said this has been, if you looked at it from a historical perspective, this is a fight, really, that may have been coming for 47 years, ever since Iran overtook the U.S. Embassy and held our people hostage for 444 days. You got to be, maybe like 60 years old to even remember that, because it was 47 years ago. But it was a big, big deal, and everybody in this nation was just up in arms that it happened. Over the course of the last number of presidencies, there's been a lot of tough talk, but now, we actually see this military action and big questions about what comes next. There is a descendant of the Shah of Iran who did run it, back in the 60s and 70s, Reza Pahlavi, who is one of the names that you hear mentioned that might possibly return if Iran ever were to be brought into a democracy. But there are still, Des, from the reports I'm seeing, a lot of hardliners in the government who want to keep it the way it is.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, we know the Iranian government wants to continue their nuclear weapons program, but that is just something that President Trump isn't willing to negotiate on. He wants them to shut that down. And we heard from the Secretary of Defense this morning, Pete Hegseth, saying, there are just some non-negotiables. Well, and, they've tried to do this diplomatically, but those efforts have failed thus far.
And so, it's often described as the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. Mm-hmm. And the talk from every president has been, no, we can't go that far. We can't allow them to have a nuclear bomb, but mostly it's just been talk. So now we're in the middle of this conflict. And by the way, I did just see a warning from the Department of Homeland Security saying, don't be anything but extremely cautious over the fact that there could be more lone wolf attacks. They're still trying to piece together if this one in Austin was, but the guy was apparently wearing an Iranian flag when he went on his mass shooting over the weekend in Austin, Texas. And so, that's one of the concerns. There's no doubt about it. Plus just the fact that our military men and women are going to be in harm's way, it sounds like, for at least several more weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier today, we did have Rebecca Grant on with us. She is really quite brilliant. She's with the Lexington Institute. And here's just a quick clip of some of the perspective that she offered.
I hand it to General Kane and to Central Command. The actual timing of this was an operational surprise. Fantastic work. And of course, none more surprised than the Iranians themselves. That piece of intelligence that allowed the airstrikes and missiles to catch Ayatollah Khamenei in the meeting and to take out that terrible, terrible dictator. An incredible surprise. Begun, as we've learned from General Dan Kane, by a cyber and space wiping out of Iranian military communications in those moments before the strikes. So an incredibly well orchestrated mission that did catch the enemy by surprise. We're looking for a new day for Iran, but to be clear, the immediate objective and what's most important for American security is to continue this campaign. The Central Command has told us that the targets here are, of course, the ballistic missile sites, Iran's Navy, and then a really specific target list in the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. That's a group of about 190,000, but within that is the elite Quds force. That's more like about 10,000, and they're the ones who send the terror money abroad, build the ballistic missiles, keep the money flowing, and have been the instruments of oppression for the Ayatollah for so long.
Yeah, and I mean, with that kind of perspective, you appreciate that this could be a battle. I mean, it could be a battle for a long time if, in fact, what you want to see is democracy there, or even something resembling democracy instead of the theocracy.
Yeah, and we've heard the president say, "Oh, this should only last a couple of weeks, maybe 4 weeks," but it's really hard to tell how long this may happen. Obviously, we hope that if this can be worked out within a couple of weeks. Obviously, that's the better option than this going, the long haul, but we'll have to see.
Hey, let's shift gears for just a moment here on Fox 10 Talks. Let's check in with our buddy Eric at TMZ.
Yeah,
you
let's
want
do it.
to? Look, there he is.
Morning, Eric.
He's all set. He's all ready to go. How are you, friend?
Good. How are you? Happy Monday.
Good. Happy Monday.
Yeah, we're super busy, but we always carve out a little bit of time to chat with you. And Lindsay Lohan is making some headlines again. What?
Yeah, no, so we just checked in on her. She recently, over the few years ago actually now, she moved to Dubai with her husband and her son. So obviously Dubai, had some strikes this weekend as well. So we checked in, and our sources are telling us that she is safe, her family is safe. She still is in Dubai. She's trying to get it out, but we don't know exactly when that will happen. But she is safe. That's one of the big celebrities that was in Dubai. So.
Well, you might find it interesting. We were chatting last hour here on Fox 10 Talks with a fella who lives in a Phoenix suburb called Anthem. His wife is stuck in Dubai. They have an apartment there. And she had actually landed one day before all of this went down, and she's frightened as can be. She's up on the 45th floor, but the sheikh over there who runs the whole show said all hotels have to open up all their available rooms to guests. So she and other people went to that hotel and have been sleeping in the lobby. They don't want to get caught 40 or 80 stories up on high rise.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Has Lindsay been posting about this or sharing like anything on her social
No, we haven't heard anything from her about this, but we talked to sources that are closely connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Well, hopefully, I mean, she's safe, and the others that live there. Definitely a scary situation.
Yeah. By the way, our chat room is filled with Happy Monday, Eric. Yo, Eric. It's
Happy Monday.
It's a little philosophy. Your fans always join us every Monday. That's for sure.
I'm glad to see they made it too.
Okay, what's going on with Zendaya and Tom Holland?
Yeah, Zendaya and Tom Holland made some headlines this weekend thanks to Zendaya's longtime stylist, Law Roche. He said to Access Hollywood that apparently Tom and Zendaya got married and we all missed it. He said that he seemed to not be joking. He said he truly meant it when he said it to this interviewer on the red carpet at the Actor Awards, I believe it was. So we looked into it, and turns out, according to our sources, they are not married. So as much as Law is trying to, stoke the flames, just get people off the scent of when they actually will get married, we don't know. But according to our sources, we can debunk this statement, and they are not married yet.
Oh, why do you think he would drop that?
I don't know.
That info then.
I mean, Law is always, saying some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he really cares what he says. He's pretty unfiltered. So I don't know if this was just, again, to try to get people off the scent and make them think they're married so that they can have a secret wedding somewhere, or what the situation is. But he seemed truthful when he said it. But our sources are telling us that it's BS.
No, okay, you're right. He is like a little wild, right? Really speaks off the cuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You think if Zendaya and Tom didn't put him up to this, do you think they might be a little upset with him? Or are they like close enough to not care?
He's actually said worse, I feel like, about Zendaya in the past. Like, I mean, not necessarily about her, but about their relationship. He's always been pretty open about it, and the good and the bad, and the disappointments along the way, and things like that. If this was true, and they didn't approve him saying this, they would be mad, I think. Mm-hmm. But if this was a trick, maybe they're all in on it. I don't know. We'd have to obviously hear from Law and see why he decided to say that at this time.
Yeah. Well, I was all excited. I'm all.
Me too.
I'm all for them getting married. They're the cutest couple.
They're some of our favorite couples, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we were all excited, and Law really, now we're disappointed. Now we're mad at Law.
Yeah, we are mad at Law. They're just throwing fake info out there like that.
I can't believe it.
And if the goal was to get everybody in the country talking about him, it worked.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, where are the? I'm like on standby for the wedding photos. Like those were next to be leaked if that was true.
Obviously, we get all the paparazzi pictures here and stuff like that sent to us, whether we do them or not. And there was nothing that came across my desk showing them getting married or anything like that.
All right, Eric, dig into that.
Right now.
We gotta let you go, buddy.
Okay.
Break time. Mystery
Thanks, Eric.
Cam. Back in 2 minutes. Give us your guess. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Mystery Cam time, and let's see some of the very all of the map type guesses. We have Linda, who is super loyal. All you guys in the chat are just super loyal. She's out there in the Gila Valley, and she's saying, "I think it could be Texas."
I think that's a good guess.
Are you going to go with that?
I do like that.
Okay.
Jenna, Arkansas.
Yes. Colorado from Low Philosophy. Christine is on today guessing Oklahoma. I like the sound of that one, too.
Good morning, Josh. He had said hi to me earlier. I wanted to say hi to you. And then I see your comment about marriage. And dang, you sound a little salty. What happened, bud? Marriage is great when you find the right person.
Yeah, that's right. You got to find the right one.
But that's the problem, right? Finding the right person.
Hey, Mike Lewis is saying Kansas. Louis Gonzalez, Oklahoma. I first thought Oklahoma when I saw this. And Steph Lacey is saying Kansas, too. We're starting to get a bunch of guesses in. What do you think, Des?
I'm going to just go with Linda, Texas. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, the Des Cam, here we go.
It is, Gibson City, Illinois.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
No Illinois guesses. Well, there you go.
Well, we were all off today, huh? I'm going to say Buffalo.
Yeah.
Josh, it's not Buffalo.
Way to go, Josh.
It's not Buffalo unless you see 5 feet of snow. No, I'm just kidding.
I did one time drive across Illinois to get to Springfield because there are presidential museums in America, and then there's the Abraham Lincoln Museum in Springfield, where he was from. It's incredible. I mean, it's like so powerful that when you get to the point where he was assassinated and the final room on the tour, it's like a wax museum all the way through various, like when he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, they take you into the cabinet room with all the members of the cabinet. And then, of course, John Wilkes Booth and the assassination at Ford's Theater. And then the next one you come into, the room is suddenly darkened. And there's a coffin up on a pedestal, and you almost feel like crying. Mm-hmm. You know how that story ends, but they have done an incredible job, and it's worth going there just for that alone.
Oh, that's cool.
To Springfield, Illinois.
All right. No, there's a place to stop, you guys. Add it to the list.
There you go. Okay, so back to the news of the day. It's been a busy day. The president spoke at about 10 this morning, but it was Pete Hegseth. It was a very early, at least for us, 6 o'clock in the morning, news conference at the Pentagon.
Yeah. It was nice to hear them speak on this. And I think we heard a few things that were, I don't know, maybe startling, I guess, to hear Hegseth say. Like he did mention war,
yes.
And I think throughout the weekend we were dancing around, is this a conflict? Is this the start of a war?
Right.
And he did use some of that terminology today.
It's a really good point. Here's just a little bit more about what he had to say. I think we may hear from the president in this one as well.
Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their Navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon, never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You got to do it the right way. Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action, and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful, by far, military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. Whatever somebody said today, they said, oh, well, if the president wants to do it really quickly, after that he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing boring about this.
And then some of the pictures coming in from Tehran, Des, we were talking about what Pete Hegseth had to say just a little while ago. And, he said, look, we don't have boots on the ground in Iran, but we're not taking that option off the table. It's serious.
Yeah, when I was listening to some reports on my drive in early this morning, that was one thing, like a military expert had mentioned that, you're not going to get that regime change or that success in this mission without boots on the ground, but obviously we're not there just yet. I mean, I don't know, hopefully we don't get there, but we'll have to see how this progresses.
Yeah. Well, yes, absolutely. Historically speaking, that's ultimately kind of what it kind of comes down to. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. But I can tell you one thing. We saw, it's difficult to call these protests. They're more like celebrations in a number of cities around the country when the news came out this weekend, including right here in the Valley. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was in Scottsdale, so we went out there to see what was going on. And you'll notice here Iranian flags and Israeli flags flying together.
That's not something you see often.
Right. Mm-hmm. And here's more about what they were talking about when it came to why they were so happy to see what's gone down.
We as Iranians outside Iran, we're so happy. We are seeing an end of the persecution and tyranny in Iran. So we are just here to celebrate. We were here for years and years fighting against Islamic Republic, and now everybody is happy. We cannot wait to see the new government.
This is the very first time that we get to do a protest like this that is pure celebration. Yes. It is the people of Iran risking their life today and yesterday, coming out in the street, dancing with joy, knowing that if they're seen, they will get killed.
This was out there at the intersection we all know, Scottsdale and Camelback Roads yesterday afternoon, and they said that there were hundreds, crowd estimated at about 500 that gathered right in that area. And who knows where it's all headed. Right now, it looks like I've seen some reporting that a real hardliner who has controlled a lot of the harsh, deadly response to the pro-democracy protests of 2 months ago, that guy is still alive and is kind of running the show right now. So where it goes from here remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, one thing we can celebrate in the chat, these folks are chatting about marriage.
Okay.
Who knew that was going to take off this morning?
Okay.
I wanted to go back in the chat and say Christine says she's been married 27 years. Nice. Congratulations, Linda, and her love. Okay. Almost 46 years for them.
That's right.
That's incredible. Congratulations, you guys.
I follow Linda on Instagram. And they're retired and they take these trips every once in a while.
And it's how many years for you and Renee?
So for us, it's 47 as well.
Woo! Wow.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing to my... I don't even know, 8, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
We're approaching 10.
Well, go follow Des. I told her this morning, my favorite Instagram highlight from the whole weekend was, come hang out with me and the kids and see what 3 hours looks like.
Yeah, right. And that was just 3 hours. So much more.
It was great.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, you guys. I just wanted to shout you out. Oh, Darla goes, Des, I have to have your autograph on my shirt.
Oh, yeah.
We can arrange for that to happen.
For sure.
Maybe we should get a marriage person in. Christine says marriage is both, well, you can attest to this maybe,
yes,
sweet and salty.
Yeah.
That's why it's so good.
Correct.
That's a nice way to put it.
You have to be able to look at it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Yeah,
hey,
that's awesome.
We're all looking at it through your perspective today, Des. The fact that you were out at Ted's was amazing. Let's go there.
But you guys, Ted's has a special place in my heart because it's from Buffalo, New York. It started there in 1927 by a Greek immigrant, and we are here with his, would it be great
grandson? Just great. Just one.
Great. One great.
Yeah.
Fourth generation.
Yeah.
How, I mean, so much history here in Ted's. For folks that had no idea it originated from Buffalo, walk us through a little bit of your grandfather's story.
Okay, well, he's a Greek immigrant, came over from Greece, obviously, and in Buffalo, there's a peace bridge. It connects Canada and the United States of America.
Yeah.
So there was a construction shack, and when they finished construction on the peace bridge, he bought it for $100. Started selling hot dogs to the remaining construction workers, the local west side of Buffalo, and it was a hit. So
and we're seeing your grandpa in this picture right here below.
Yeah.
So that is Theodore.
Yeah, we have Theodore, my great-grandfather. He was the founder. This is Spiro.
And that's your grandpa as a young boy.
So Grandpa came down here to Phoenix and started another Ted's Hot Dogs, and it set off like wildfire, just like it did in Buffalo. And we haven't changed in almost 100 years. So charcoal grill, cast iron, open fire, Salon's hot dogs.
And that's right, what Ted's is known
onion
for.
Rings, milkshakes.
All of it is so good.
So now, we're getting ready for growth, and we have a great team. We have our general manager here, Joella. She's a rock star. She's owning that grill. Our director of operations, Cody, behind there on the fryer. So we're really excited to be here in Arizona. And
the fun thing about Ted's and the tradition that your grandfather started is obviously it starts with a great hot dog, but you've expanded that menu over the years. And then this is fun. I like the old school way of kind of ordering, being able to come up to the line. You talk to the chef and you order.
Oh, yeah. We have, Arizona loves the all beef dog. So we sell a lot of all beef dogs down here, a lot of Chicago dogs, but we have our